Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at the co-feature race at Aqueduct on Sunday for New York-bred two-year-old fillies. It's race number 9. Here's the field for the Key Sense Stakes. We're going 3/4 of a mile. Nice field in here. And Mike, just on the face of it, there appears to be a lot of early speed. And the morning line favorite, the 6 Classy Edition, would not mind a hot pace at all.
Yeah, I mean, she's 9-5 on the line, 2 for 2 in her career with just back-to-back blowout wins against New York breds. Dan, I mean, she's certainly run very well both times, and I do believe is way the horse to beat in here. But I do think this also might be a tougher field. There's a lot going on here. There are some good horses in this race.
Let's take a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector. A bit surprised it did not get a red bar scenario. The 7, Making My Move, was very, very fast in the debut at Saratoga. Silver Fist, the number 2, comes off a gate-to-wire win. Miss Alacrity, I know, removes blinkers for trainer Wesley Ward, but you got to think this filly's going to be going from the rail.
I thought so. I mean, in many ways, I believe that Miss Alacrity is the key to whether or not this pace is fast. Making My Move, the 7 is going. I think whether or not this pace gets fast depends on Miss Alacrity and if she comes out running from the rail.
Let's watch Miss Alacrity's career debut at Belmont back in May. Boy, she was the typical early Wesley Ward trained 2-year-old, sent off at 2-5, just prompted an easy pace on the outside, takes over in the stretch, and is on her way to a double-digit score. She backed up this race with a stakes victory on turf, and she was far from embarrassed in her last race on turf against the boys at Santa Anita.
Yeah, the race last time I said, Anita, they just outran her to the lead and she couldn't make a real impact. Her first 2 starts were good. That was a good performance right there. Those early 2-year-old races in the spring just keep getting harder, I think, to evaluate, Dan, because Wesley Ward is the only one who has a 2-year-olds ready anymore, and they seem to win all of them. She was 2-5 in that race, but she looked good winning. Again, I think she's the key to this race in a lot of ways.
Silver Fist cracked the board in her first 2 starts, and Chuck Lawrence put blinkers on for the most recent start. Let's watch that race on October the 23rd, and a lot more speed from Silver Fist, who is already quick out of the gate, but she sets a legitimate pace in this race, and she keeps right on rolling along. Lifetime best 65 Beyer speed figure. Little concern that she's going to have to face faster fractions and better horses here.
Yeah, that's my concern too. She wins this race easily, but she also basically got loose on the lead early in here. Nobody really went with her. She had plenty left through the stretch, and wins as easy as you wanted to see her win. Listen, her first 2 starts aren't bad. I mean, Making My Move absolutely buried her at Saratoga, but this horse was okay to be second in there, and she bumped into another good horse last time in Venti Valentine, who came right back to win a stake.
The number 3 is Captain's Daughter, a horse that would really appreciate a fast pace up front. A winner 2 starts back, cutting back in distance, moving from route to sprint, and that's what she's going to try to do again on Sunday. She did stretch out and ran really well last time out, Mike. Let's watch the Maid of the Mist. Sloppy track, 1-turn mile. You talked about Venti Valentine having ability. Captain's Daughter has a lot of work to do in the stretch. She gets into the clear, and she comes with a solid run.
Yeah, she runs okay in this race. She's going to be second best at a big price. That's on the heels of a maiden win sprinting 2 back at another big price. She's probably underrated, Dan. She's in a really tough race here, a race where she's going to have to take a big step forward to win. But she might catch a little bit of pace to run into once again, and she's going to be a big price. Maybe you can use her underneath.
And welcome back, Trevor McCarthy, to the New York riding colony. The 4 is Toscanova Beauty. She's done little wrong from her first 2 starts. She blew them away at the Finger Lakes in her career debut. Second, behind She's a Wild Joker in a stake at Finger Lakes, albeit on a sloppy track, needs to improve from a Beyer standpoint.
Yeah, it's a tough spot for her as well, because this is a pretty strong field. Nothing to really knock about the 2 races she's run. Easy winner first time out after contesting the pace all the way. That was not a bad performance at all. Only second best last time, but she was wide while She's a Wild Joker got through on the inside.
Nice to see trainer Bruce Levine with some nice 2-year-olds. And he's got a couple this year, including the 5 Cupid's Heart, who was bet like she was going to be a good thing for her career debut. She did not have the greatest of starts. She did not have the strongest pace to run at, but let's watch what she did in the stretch anyway. Cupid's Heart made a very strong move on the turn to get into contention and then just sweeps away. Respectable 71 Beyer speed figure, Mike.
Yeah, this is a very impressive debut. Filly who just did not get out of the gate at all in this race, took a little bit of a bump and got outrun. But I just like the way that she improved her position, basically all on her own power, Dan, throughout the running of the race, easily took this race over. and won it very convincingly. She might have a good amount of ability, this horse.
Classy Edition, the 6, a big ticket 2-year-old for a New York bred, daughter of Classic Empire, sold for $550,000 earlier this year. Has caught wet tracks both starts. Very impressive both times. Thought she had a nice setup in her debut at Saratoga, sitting behind a 3-ply pace duel, but blew him away anyway. And then watch last time out. Irad Ortiz just kept her on the outside. Probably knew he was on the best horse, kept her wide all the way through the turn. She had to work a little bit, and once she makes the lead, she just goes on with it. She is an early, progressive 2-year-old coming off an 82 buyer in a race that sets up for her.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot to like about her first 2 races. And it's interesting that, she wins as easily as she does because she doesn't have a ton of early speed, Dan. She's not making the lead and running these horses off their feet. She's, keeping herself up close without making the lead, and she really finishes in her races. Way the horse to beat, but I do think this is a tougher race for her.
The 7, Making My Move, is very fast out of the gate. She was bet down to favoritism in her debut at Saratoga. She never gave them a chance. She drubbed the field, which included Silver Fast. Were you surprised that Kimmel put her in on the turf in a tough spot? The Matron last time out, she showed big speed in that race and tired. I like her getting back to the dirt.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I was surprised that was the spot they picked out for her second start. She does have some turf pedigree, but it still seemed like odd placing. Not that she ran terribly in there, but boy, her career debut was pretty good, Dan. She was fast, quick into the lead there around the turn, blew that field out, big gallop out after the race. I think she's super dangerous in here.
She is a wild joker, beaten almost 15 by Classy Edition, 2 starts back in the Joseph A. Jimma. Let's watch the She's a Stone Cold Fox, her subsequent start, also on a wet track, but this one at Finger Lakes, and a race in which she is able to get up and win over Toscanova Beauty. 60 buyer speed figure for She's a Wild Joker. Has the right running style for this race, but needs to improve. Just caught a tough edition of the Key Sense.
That's what I thought. I mean, I actually think she's pretty good. I just wonder if this race came up a little too tough for her. I thought she ran well to win this race. She got a good trip, but they, sort of rated her from the start to sit in behind. She did that very professionally, won easily at the end. I like her as a horse. I think she's pretty good. This is a tough race.
I'm really looking forward to this race at Aqueduct on Sunday. Some nice fillies entered. Let's take a look at our top picks for the Key Sense. I'm hoping Making My Move shows that similar speed is the speed of the speed and can keep on going. I was just really taken with her debut. Classy Edition is both of our second choices. Cupid's Heart, though, was very visually impressive in her debut. Mike, should be a nice price.
Yeah, I'm just going to give her a chance to step up here. This is a tough race, but she looked really good winning. Classy Edition's way the horse to beat, but I just thought they were interesting alternatives. I think your horse is an interesting alternative. I think Cupid's Heart is. I think even Miss Alacrity is an interesting horse in here. So there's a lot going on.
5671 for Mike, 7653 for me. The Key Sense, one of 2 stakes races at Aqueduct on Sunday. You can play them both with DRF Bets. Good luck.